Hello everybody, this is Scott, Comic Book Hangover, and here we go with another Signature Sunday video. This is something that I like to do on Sundays with using the hashtag Signature Sunday, and it's a way to sort of share some of the books that I have signed and share some of the stories as well. So sometimes you get a really interesting or fun story when you get a book signed. For example, Awesome Slapstick #1, signed by Terry Austin. I got this signed years ago at Motor City Comic Con in Detroit, Michigan, and I was behind a person, we'll just say a person, probably one of the worst examples of somebody getting a book signed. They had a stack of books they wanted Terry Austin to sign, but not just the covers. This person had specific panels on specific pages that they wanted signed. And it was aggravating to stand behind this individual because they didn't have 1, 2, 3, 4 books, and they had an entire stack of books. So when this individual was done, finally, I walked up to him and I was like, well, I told him, I was like, well, if you want to take a break, go grab something to eat, you know, get something to drink or whatever, I will wait, because that was just beyond rude. So I will wait, you know, you just do what you need to do, take a break. And he asked me what I wanted to have signed, and I showed him, you know, I said, I just want this Awesome Slapstick signed. I'd like to get a signature right there on his foot. And he saw the book. He made a comment, and I thought everybody had forgotten about this character, because at the time there was nothing going on with him, and I had to make the comment that he was one of my favorite characters, and I've read this miniseries I don't know how many times. And so he's like, I'll go ahead and sign this for you, then I'm going to go ahead and take my break. So I got my book signed. And just one of my favorite covers and one of my favorite signatures. Next up, Howard the Duck #1. Now, I know I've shown this in another video, but this one I got signed again at Motor City Comic Con. This was actually, he wound up dating this one. This is in 2007. Wow, was that long ago? Anyway, I took this one up to Frank Brunner, the artist, and handed it to him. I was like, so can I have your signature on this, please? And he looked at it. He said, sure, sure. And then the next thing he said is, I want to apologize for the movie. And it just kind of came out of nowhere. But it took me a second to figure out what he was talking about. I said, I don't really associate Howard the Duck, the comic book, with Howard the Duck, the movie, because they're two totally different entities. And I told him that. I said, well, I don't hold you or Steve Gerber responsible for the movie. I mean, that was a Hollywood thing. I absolutely love this book. It's one of my favorite series. I've got the Essential for it, and this is one of those books that I try to read through it at least once a year. I mean, the book is a very, very old series, but it holds up really well. And if you've never read a Howard the Duck comic, I'm not talking about the newer stuff that Marvel's doing now, where Howard looks weird and the stories just aren't right. If you want to read some good Howard the Duck books, you got to find that Steve Gerber stuff. There is an Essential. There's a complete collection, I believe, that's out, that's in color. But I like the Essential because I love the art in this series, and the black and white, you can really enjoy the art more. But if you're looking for a really interesting and honestly a deep read, check out Howard the Duck. But anyway, I got this book signed in 2007, and it's one of my favorite books. Actually, most of my books are my favorite books. But moving on, something a bit more recent. The next two books are signed by the same person, Darryl Banks, who worked on this crossover, Green Lantern Silver Surfer. Now, this was one of the books that was a lead into the Marvel versus DC, DC versus Marvel event. They started doing these intercompany crossovers, and they've been doing them for a while. And then they started adding something to it, where there was an alleyway, and there was this guy he looked like a bum, but he was protecting this box in an alleyway, and every time they had a crossover, they would show this guy, and the box was starting to light up, and the wrappings around it were starting to fall off, and he was trying to keep it together, and that led into the Marvel versus DC, DC versus Marvel event. It's basically that box had something to do with keeping the universes separated, and if that broke down or opened up, then the universes, the brothers, as they referred to them as, the embodiments of the Marvel and DC universes, would find out about each other, and all hell would break loose. And it happened, and it was fun. So I got this one signed by Darryl Banks. I also got Green Lantern #75 signed by Darryl Banks. And this is just this is one of the times that I did try to get into a DC book that wasn't Lobo. I tried Batman and Superman. I could get into them for the events, but really didn't fall in that much. So Green Lantern seemed like a logical choice. I do like the Kyle Rayner character, and I was able to follow him for the most part for the better part of a year or two. So it's a good fun read. It was a good run, but I got that one signed. And last up this week, an Alterna comic. Hey, how about that? I love some Alterna comics, and this is from the first round of their bringing back newsprint books. This is one of their early $1.50 books. Michael S. I hope I'm going to pronounce this right. Michael S. Bracco did this 3-issue miniseries called Adam Wreck about a boy and his parents traveling through space. The parents were explorers. They wound up getting involved with some nasty space pirates, and it was a lot of fun. And I'm pretty sure I've said before, one of the things that really struck me in this series is the way it's colored. Pretty much the way the coloring you see on the cover is kind of how it's colored on the inside. But this is a book that my good friend Cody Lockwood from Lockwood's Loot got signed. Actually, he was the one that got those Green Lantern books signed for me as well. He goes to a lot of conventions, and Michael S. Bracco was at a show he went to, and Cody was kind enough to get this book signed for me. Didn't just get a sign. If you see, I got a remark there on the cover, and my name spelled correctly. Thanks for all the support, which is easy to do when it comes to Alterna Comics. It's one of the best publishers, in my opinion, one of the best publishers out there right now. They really are more about comic books than anything else. I mean, I know he's trying to get his books in the more and more outlets. Kind of wish he would focus more on the comic shops, but I understand what he's doing. I understand why. But all that aside, we can talk about Alterna Comics later. But this is the first Alterna book that I got signed. So that's it. That's my my hashtag Signature Sunday video for this week. Thank you for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, share, whatever it is you find people want to do with my video here. I appreciate you watching. And if you have a YouTube channel and you do these sort of videos as well, I would love to check them out. I would like to see more signature hashtag Signature Sunday, hashtag Signature Saturday. I don't care. I would like to see some videos where people are getting their books signed and hear some of the more interesting stories behind the signatures, because there are some. So I'm going to wrap this up now. Got this under 10 minutes. I'm doing better at this. So thanks for watching. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, share, and we will see you later.